Hello, assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And I'm back. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the background noises. I think usually it's my mic's noise cancellation works pretty good, it seems. But just in case you are listening to some indistinct sounds, that's the washing machine of a neighbor's working. Yeah, amazing how sound travels, especially in winters when there's no fans, no ACs, nothing on, and everything's total silence. So, I'm back today to talk about something that we all seem to feel. And yet, despite the fact that we're all complaining about this, it seems that the concerned persons or companies or businesses, they don't give a flying frack. Okay, first of all, let's just start with a little bit of the recent most background. As we know, the BDS movement, right? We know that we are boycotting all Western products, or most of the Western products, really, that are part of our daily lives, simply because we have found out that the umbrella companies, the parent companies, are mainly in Pakistan, especially, and even in India and all, Unilever and Procter and Gamble. So there's so many different varieties of products, of so many different names, of so many different companies, but they all basically fall under the umbrella of these two major companies, right? Procter & Gamble, Unilever. Now, keeping all of that in mind, that means that your day-to-day, everyday items, one way or the other, belongs to these companies that are pro-Jewish, or should we say pro-Israeli, and so they're under the boycott list, right? Now, one of the main problems is that there's a lot of Pakistanis who are still unaware of the fact that the reason why we are boycotting these companies, they seem to think that, oh no, if you boycott it at the end of the day, you are causing a loss to your own people, to the employees and the companies and blah 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 and all that. Put that thing aside, okay? Put all of that aside, and now think about it in the bigger picture. The reason we're boycotting these products is because all that money that you think is circulating within your country is not. I don't know how else to explain that to you. You do not know that every single penny that you're paying for all of these products, it's going ultimately to the parent companies, which means it's leaving your country. This money does not stay in your country. So be it Starbucks, be it KFC, be it McDonald's, be it Tim Hortons, be it whatever company it is, as long as it is an international or multinational company that has a parent company that is known to be pro-Israeli, or that belongs to a country that has a pro-Israeli stance, you need to boycott it because all that money is going there. Okay? Number one. Number two, alternatives. Now, that's another problem. Okay, so fine, people want to boycott. What are the good alternatives? Now, Pakistani products are actually pretty good, but because there's been a lot of, the kind of mindset that we've had is because there's been a lot of fake items, there's been a lot of low quality items, there's been a lot of, hit and miss. So that's why we have a sort of a healthy as well as an unhealthy bias, negative bias towards our own local products, right? But then some of us who have actually tried some of these local products, especially some of our oldest local products, we've realized that they're actually pretty damn good. So we kind of stick to them. For example, you have Care. Care is a local Pakistani product, and it's actually one of the most used, most liked, and it's one of the most popular products that has been there for decades, right? So you've got Care, you've got Golden Pearl, you've got Bio Amla shampoo. You've got these kind of local products that you would much prefer to use because they're actually very, very good, right? Now, the problem now with companies, like for example, if you go to the tea section, to be honest, Nestle's products are pretty rubbish, whether it's everyday tea whitener or whether it is your imagine, I've actually forgotten the name, Lipton. Whether it's Lipton tea, they're pretty rubbish, okay? Pretty rubbish. And opposed to that are local teas that have not actually enjoyed the kind of hype that these products have, but have been producing pretty much very good quality teas, which were enjoyed by the lesser financially, how do we say, by the more financially restrained families, you can say, lesser financially, what is wrong with me? I'm forgetting words. Anyway, point being, I think you've understood, those that are not very rich, or those that, for them, every penny counts. So for them, they prefer to use local tea products. So you have Vital, you have Tapal, you have these. Now, Tapal actually is one of the biggest Pakistani brands in tea, and it's enjoyed not just by those who are financially restrained, but by those who are actually pretty good financially, pretty well off. So, but apart from that, you have Vital and other such products that, were supposed to be doing well amongst the locals, that couldn't afford Tapal even, or that couldn't afford, other products that are under Unilever or other stuff, or imported products, right? Now, the point is here that suddenly, now that they're enjoying more demand, right? Now that these local companies, these local products, that despite the fact that they were always very good, but somehow or the other they were always beat by, these imported products. Now suddenly they're enjoying so much attention. And what do they do in return? They up their prices. They're almost always out of stock. You literally have to look for them, and that is very damaging. That is not just damaging to the companies, which I don't understand why they don't understand that, because the retailers then will stop asking for it, people will stop asking for it, and you'll go down the drain again, right? How are you going to help the people maintain boycotting products when you are going to make it more difficult for them to have access to good alternatives? Now, for example, look at Nexton. I swear, when I wanted to check out their petroleum jelly, right? They have it basically in baby products, right? So they have this baby jelly, no fragrance. It's 475 freaking rupees for a tiny blob. Seriously, a tiny blob. I mean, the jar is so tiny that it could actually fit into a baby's hand. And for that, it's 475 rupees. Obviously, then I would think, why wouldn't I just go and get a Vaseline? I'm supposed to be boycotting Vaseline. I'm looking for a good alternative product, and I'm getting a very tiny blob of a jar that's not worth three fingers, literally, three fingers, and it will finish. And you're telling me that that's 475 rupees. You're a local goddamn product. Everything about you is local. Your manufacturing unit is local. Your product is local. Packaging is local. Every single thing is local. You're a Pakistani brand. And you're selling little bottles of lotions even for 200 rupees. Very tiny bottles of 70 ml, 40 ml. What's wrong with you? And then at the other end, you can't even find what you're looking for most of the time in physical stores. So you have to go online, which means more cost, because then you have to pay delivery charges, right? You are bloody local products. Why aren't you available in the local markets? That's number one, okay? And I always ask the retailers, and this time the retailers were also so pissed off. This time even they were like, Allah puche inko, Allah hadayat de in Pakistaniyon ko. So you see, this is something that every single Pakistani has experienced, and so we all have the same thought. We all have the same mutual thinking when it comes to our own people, that they will not end up in heaven no matter what. If any Pakistani is thinking that, oh, I'm a Muslim, I'm going to heaven, you're wrong. If anything, I'm sure there's a separate hell made specially for the people of Pakistan, which is something I've actually mentioned in some of my previous podcasts. There is a special hell made just for the people of Pakistan. I guarantee you that. Right? Because the things that you people are doing, the fact that you're doing it, and the fact that everybody is actually, screaming out loud that you're doing it, and that you're still doing it. It's like the government, that is why I always say that, yeah, actually, you know what? This government really is the representative of our people. You know why? Our people are just as fucked up as they are. Our people are just as sadistic as they are, in the sense that you have found out that, okay, look at Karshi people, right? Karshi people, Again, a local product, a very, very old, popular Pakistani brand. Why are they popular? Because not only have we been using their products for decades, and their products are mainly herbal oriented. So it's all about herbal and natural and organic. And we have always been using their products, all of us in Pakistan, at one point or the other. We've always used their products in many of our day to day lives. And we've used them for decades. And so they decided to create Next Cola, which was supposed to be an alternative to Coca Cola. And then what happened? It became very popular because actually it was very good. It became so popular that people literally decided to drop Coke and go for Next. And at the what did Kershey do in return? It hiked the price. It hiked the price, whereas Coke was trying to slash prices again and again because of the boycott. It was suffering so much that, the Coke company was basically just slashing prices off of its products, right? And what did they do? They upped their prices, and then they were out of stock. And as the retailer was, pissed off today, and he was like, from that day till now, they're always out of stock. We can never get their product. Every time we ask for the supply, it's like you get 5 bottles, then you get 10. There's always a shortage in their stock. What the hell are they doing? And he's like, okay, now they have finally slashed their prices too, and they've gone cheaper than Coke. Obviously, I think they finally heard the people. They're probably the only company that have actually listened to some feedback when people stopped buying Next Cola, and they suffered again because they said, oh, okay, we did a huge mistake by, upping the price. And so they decided, at least they had the conscience in any way, or the good business sense, to slash their prices. Now they're actually lower. It's about 175 rupees, I think, compared to Coke, which has gone up to 200. I think that's what the retailer was telling me, the shopkeeper. But anyway, point being, they had the common sense to slash their prices, but they're still almost always out of stock. If the manufacturer cannot meet the demand, if the supplier cannot meet the demand, the retailer will stop stocking. When the retailer will stop stocking, people will stop asking. People will stop asking, you have gone into a huge loss again. So what the hell are you dealing with, So this is my biggest problem with all Pakistani companies, right? And now I've seen that it is a collective problem. I'm not the only one. Everybody's getting pissed off, and everybody's literally cursing at Pakistani businessmen, at Pakistani government, at Pakistani army. And I always tell them that, what, I curse them with you, but you know what, it's our fault. You let them run away. You just let them go free, go wild for 40 years. You never said anything to them for 40 years. And so they have realized that they can do anything and you will still not say anything. And this is why your army, your government are doing what they're doing to you, because your own people are the same, because they're not doing anything in return. They're not fighting back the way they should. Yes, there is a huge lot of us that's fighting, but there's another huge lot of us that's just sitting back and cursing. We should join the fight. If we can't join the fight, we should raise our voices. We should be there. I know many people are morally supporting them. I know that because everywhere you go, people are just cursing at the government. They're cursing at the army. They're just cursing at the businessmen. They're cursing at everybody. But, as I said, this is the consequences of that laid back complacency that you showed for the past 40 years. And again, these last 2 years, you allowed them to break all barriers. You allowed them to cross their boundaries, to cross their limitations. You allowed them to enter into our homes. You allowed them to kidnap children, women, old people. You allowed them to torture them. You allowed them to terrorize the people of Pakistan. You, the people of Pakistan, allowed them to do that. And again, I would blame Imran Khan, that because the first time when Imran Khan was illegally arrested, the whole of Pakistan came out without anybody calling them, without this. Imran Khan should not have stopped them. What he did was he gave a leverage to the government and the army to do whatever it is that they're doing today. He broke that momentum of the people. See, in South Korea, as soon as President Yoon declared martial law. The people came out in the streets. Nobody tried to stop them. Nobody said, oh no, go back, go back. No, people came out to the streets. Within 6 hours, he had to back out. He withdrew. Now, here's another difference. Not only did nobody break the momentum of the protesters, but also President Yoon had the common sense, the integrity, the conscience. He had the conscience to back off, and he apologized. But as I said in my last episode, he literally has shot himself in the foot by even doing this in the first place, because he literally just gave up his career, into the hands of the opposition. He has given a huge excuse to the opposition, a justification for the opposition. He said the opposition was trying to overthrow him. Well, you just gave them a good excuse now. Now the people will actually agree with the opposition and say, yeah, remove him. Now what are you going to do? This is a lesson to our illegal government and our illegal army chief that look at what the army of South Korea did. You came out because you had taken a lot of US dollars. You have to obey your masters. Okay, you came out and you killed the people of Pakistan. But even though the martial law was in place in South Korea for 6 hours, the Korean army did not come out. They did not shell the people. They did not push the protesters back. They did not kill anybody. So look at what the South Korean army did, despite the fact that they also went through dictatorship in the 80s, okay? In 79, the dictatorship, the martial law began. In the 80s, they went through it. We went through dictatorship in the 80s. But just look at the difference here. Look at the difference between the way the army responded this time and the way Pakistani's army keeps on and on responding. They learned from their mistakes. What the fuck did you learn? That's what I want to know. What the fuck did you learn? In all of these motherfucking 70 years, what the fuck did you learn? They learned it in what, 30 years? In less than 30 years, they learned something. You couldn't learn that in motherfucking 70 years. The South Korean army did not do anything to the protesters. The president withdrew and apologized. And right now, he is in trouble because they're actually trying to vote towards his resignation in the parliament. But he did back off. He respected the will of the people. He realized what he had done. He backed off. What did our motherfucking government do? They stole our mandate. The largest, that's another thing. I heard a vlog of this American couple where they were saying that, no, your voice matters. When you vote, it does. People in America don't vote, and that's why things go wrong. No, in Pakistan, 2 people never voted, yes. So we used to say things, but this time, twice it happened. People voted. The largest number of votes were ever cast in these elections in February. What happened? What happened? In front of you, our mandate was stolen. Our votes were stolen. We elected Imran Khan all over again. We elected him. We elected his party. He had a clear majority this time. Last time they rigged the elections again to this extent that he couldn't enjoy a 2/3 majority in the parliament, just like how President Yoon right now cannot enjoy a majority in the parliament. But this time, Imran Khan, even though he's in jail, he won. This was truly a landslide because he won 100%. 100%. PTI won the elections 100%. And what happened? The American planted government that stole our mandate, that stole our sovereignty, and then placed an honest-to-God asshole who wasn't even supposed to be the army chief. They just took him from somewhere within the army and placed him there because he had actually signed that secret form, that secret terms and conditions that you have to sign in order to become the chief of army, in which he he had foregone his faith, he had foregone his patriotism, he had foregone everything, and he had agreed to be enslaved. And he had agreed that his master was ultimately the American establishment. This is the difference between South Korea and Pakistan. This was the difference between any other country and Pakistan. This is the difference between France and Pakistan, between Netherlands and all. They're all fighting against their government too. We are also fighting against our government, yes. But the difference is that their governments are still a bit scared of them, whereas our government and our army chief are not scared of us. You know why? Because they know that we keep backing off, number one. Number two, because we never, ever, ever tried to stop them from doing anything for the past 40 years. So now if you want to stop them, I'm sorry, but this is not going to work. This drama of going out and coming back and going, it's not going to work. As I said 1,000 times, we need to flood the streets of Pakistan. Forget D-Chalk, forget everything. We need to shut down and paralyze the whole of Pakistan like we did prior to the first elections that Imran Khan won. And this time we need to do it with a vengeance. You understand? With a vengeance. With a vengeance equaling to, if not surpassing, that of the illegal government and the army and the police. You mark my words. And you, Pakistani local businesses, don't act like bloody assholes that you actually are, but don't, okay? Get off your motherfucking asses. Act like Muslims for once. Those non-Muslims that started the boycott are 1,000 times better than you, right? And those people are actually working towards giving good alternatives to their people. And what are you doing? You're trying to make money out of this situation, you motherfuckers. Get a grip. Okay? Get a grip, you motherfuckers. This is me signing out. Khuda Hafiz.